This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Wednesday, April 8th, and time for the Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Outspoken Government Minister Donville Innes puts social media users in the country on notice, and he is especially warning Barbadians who use internet platforms to say negative things about others. The Commerce Minister, who admits to being a victim of such situations, today revealed that authorities will ensure the computer misuse legislation is enforced. And while opting not to give details, Innes says his ministry will be working closely with the Attorney General's office to address the issue while ensuring that Barbadians are still able to respectfully express their views on such platforms. There are fresh concerns from farmers over the importation of vegetables into the island. So says head of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, who is calling for investigation to determine if cabbage imported for the school meals department is competing with domestic farmers on the open market. The chief executive officer made the call yesterday in response to numerous complaints made to him recently on the issue.
Right now, we have a situation where farmers are planting considerable amounts of cabbage. The problem is that they cannot get them marketed. At the same time, we have a situation where we are observing that there are considerable quantities of imported cabbage on the market. We cannot substantiate this, but it is alleged that some of this cabbage that is being sold on the local market was brought in for the purposes of the school meals department and by an importer. And what is happening is that there's a leakage of the cabbage that was brought in by that importer onto the local market.
After a year of waiting, the case of dismissed workers from the National Conservation Commission will be heard in 2 weeks' time. Chairman of the Employment Rights Tribunal, Hal Gollop, says the NCC matter is among the first 3 cases selected to begin hearing later this month. He, however, declined to say what the other 2 matters were. Instead, he says the 9-member tribunal will meet next Wednesday to examine all the cases. Former CLICO executive Leroy Parris will have to wait a bit longer to get his day in court. Parris and his lawyer Hal Gollop made their second appearance yesterday, seeking to get a date from the High Court to hear his latest case. But they left empty-handed and unclear when the court will give them the opportunity for a hearing on a constitutional motion calling for his assets to be unfrozen, as well as an unspecified amount in damages. In sports, Barbados and Cuba to strengthen ties in the near future in the area of sports. That's according to Youth and Sports Minister Stephen Lashley. Lashley revealed that the 2 sides have agreed to collaborate on a Barbados-Cuba Games initiative in a bid to give athletes more exposure.
We will put in place a Barbados-Cuba Games to expose our joint athletic teams to more competition. But I became very impressed with what I saw in Cuba. The minister indicated to me that sports is the #1 ministry in Cuba. Sports need to be the #1 ministry in Barbados. And everything needs to subtend from sports, and I'm very serious about that. It is the area of economic activity that I think will spur economic growth. It is the area that excites our young people, it excites our nation, and I think we have to give sports a bit more serious attention.
Lashley was speaking following the arrival of Carifta athletes from St. Kitts last night, and he also revealed that his ministry will lobby for more money both from the public and private sectors to boost sport.
We have to give sports a bit more serious attention. It requires and deserves the allocation of more public resources. I believe that the time has come that all of our governments, this one included, has to put more money behind sports. And I think that the efforts of our athletes demonstrate that. So I'll be asking for more money for the Ministry of Sport and more money for our resources, but I would say this, that it is not only the task of the government alone. I believe that there are significant opportunities for the private sector. I would like to see the private sector come on board with the government and move ahead in a phased approach to the redevelopment of the national stadium.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
A test of character. A test of focus. A test of will. A test of resilience. A test of courage. Barbados, the test is on. West Indies, England, May 1st at the Mecca. Tickets $30, $40, $50, and $60. It's on.
Are you Barbados is on?
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Barbados, are you ready for Movado?
She says our destiny to get next to me.
FAS Entertainment presents the Digicel Reggae Beach Party Sunday, April 19th at the all-new Reggae Island from 3 p.m. featuring the new sensation Gully Bop,
Every girl want to walk off of
Popcorn,
champagne just
the return of Movado, plus Lead Pipe and Status, Brutal, Kurt Brown, Mad Dog, Peter Ram, Celebrity Face, Lady Essence, Stiffy, Mole, and Slims. MC Jamar the Star. The Digicel Reggae Beach Party Sunday, April 19th at the all-new Reggae Island, Pierhead Lane, Lower Bay Street from 3 p.m. It begins here.
To news from the region, Jamaican authorities say they are satisfied with preparations for today's visit of U.S. President Barack Obama. And that's not all. The Police Border and Security Branch, Deputy Commissioner of Police James Golden, says his department is relying on the people to abide by the guidelines developed to ensure that all goes smoothly. Residents have also been put on notice to brace for major restrictions, especially in the corporate area. On the international scene, a U.S. officer has been charged with murder for shooting an unarmed man in the back. We warn you that the video in this CNN report may be disturbing to some viewers.
This disturbing video has South Carolina officer Michael Slager behind bars this morning, charged with murder.
I have 2 stepchildren and 1 on the way.
The 3-minute video capturing the shooting death of Walter Scott over the weekend.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Taped by a bystander, it reveals the 33-year-old officer shooting Scott in the back while he ran away. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, police said Officer Slager stopped Scott for a broken taillight in North Charleston. Through an attorney, Officer Slager described a scuffle, claiming the 50-year-old fought for his taser and he felt threatened. In this video, you see what could be a taser fall as Scott takes off, running away as Slager fires 8 times.
And that's our Barbados Today afternoon updates, but we will be back again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 online TV, as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Do have a safe and wonderful day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy